If your horse is struggling to keep weight on in the winter, add more whole oats to the evening feeding. How much, you ask? If you are currently feeding whole oats, you can add a cup in the morning and a cup at night. If you are just starting whole oats, the amount will depend on the size of the horse and the current weight of the horse, but you can start with approx. 1.5 pounds a day. If you increase the whole oats and the horse is still losing weight, then try adding 2 extra cups to the daily feeding for a week and see what happens. When your horse is maintaining his weight, then you know you are feeding the right amount. Far too many horse owners turn to commercial senior feeds to keep weight on their horse. Commercial feeds typically contain a great deal of byproduct waste. This byproduct waste material is what remains of the original whole food, which is processed for human consumption. For example, wheat middlings or wheat mill run, rice bran, beet pulp, soybean hulls, soy oil, soy meal, distillers dried grain solutes, feed-grade molasses, ground corn, distillers fermentation solutes, ground cottonseed, almond hulls, on and on. The processing of these food materials removes the vast majority of the food's natural qualities, such as their antioxidant qualities, the phenolic compounds, dietary fiber, the fats or oils, selenium, the phytoestrogens and more. These foods many times become dead foods, especially the foods which have been stabilized to prevent them from going rancid. These are also called hollow calories. This byproduct material is digested very quickly, and the glucose is released very quickly into the bloodstream. Another way this phenomenon is described, the glucose index will spike. When this high glucose level is elevated, the pancreas will produce more insulin. The horse who has been grazing for 4 million years for 18 hours a day in its environment naturally produces insulin 24/7. Insulin triggers the cell walls of the horse to freely accept glucose or sugar from the bloodstream. Please read those feed labels. If you see that the first 6 to 7 items are byproduct waste, that is what you are feeding your horse per volume. Those vitamins and minerals in a 50-pound bag of feed are not very much volume-wise. The vast majority of that bag of processed feed by volume is byproduct waste: wheat middlings or wheat mill run, rice bran, beet pulp, soy meal, soy hulls, soy oil, distillers dried grain solutes, feed-grade molasses, distillers fermentation solutes, almond hulls, ground corn, etc. As winter begins to wane and your horse is putting on undesired weight, it is time to decrease the feeding of additional whole oats to the level of desired weight. Yes, this may seem more time-consuming, it isn't. Just keep in mind the horse is in a constant state of metabolic flux. Knowing your horse is critical in responsibly managing the day-to-day stewardship of your horse or horses. As we recommend the feeding of whole oats to horses, remember that whole oats represent 35–45% more body heat production than an equal amount of corn. In the colder snaps of winter weather, we recommend feeding the major portion of your whole oats in the evening feeding, which will produce more body heat in the morning, 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., when it is most needed. If your horses are losing weight given the colder weather, increase your whole oats in the evening feeding. Also, the fiber level of oats is 10 to 12% and is therefore less likely to cause laminitis or digestive problems as compared to other grains. For those horses that need a little extra help, you can follow the Wapago diet, which consists of 8 packed cups of alfalfa fines and 3 cups of whole oats. For those horse owners who struggle with those easy keepers and you struggle daily with keeping your horse's weight down, winter is the season to get a jump start on those overweight horses. The horse will burn more calories in the winter due to the burning of calories to generate body heat to combat the colder weather. So, knowing this, one can use the colder weather to their metabolic advantage. If you feed your overweight horse less at the night feeding, the horse will need to go to their stored energy, otherwise known as fat, as the energy source to beat the coldness and remain warm, thereby losing weight.